Summer is here and it brings along time in the pool, bicycling, and more. We have Dr. Don Fishman here with tips to keeping our families safe all summer long. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So we have a lot to talk about today, and let's start out with, what are some summertime activities that can turn into unwelcome trips to the ER? We don't want that.
Well, if you think about how bad our winter was and everybody was so sick of it, now everybody's getting outside. We're getting on our motorcycles, our bicycles, we're going to the lake, we're going to the pool. All those are wonderful, fun activities, but unfortunately they do have dangers associated with them. You just have to be aware of what's going on around you.
So let's start out with, since the weather has been nice lately and it's going to be this weekend, hopefully, the pools and the lakes. What can we be aware of?
Well, I think especially for young children around pools, it's easy for parents if they take their young children to the pool to get involved in a discussion, looking at their phone, and kids are so quick, much quicker than you think they're going to be, that you really have to pay attention. Put down your phone, put down your book, keep an eye on them constantly. A lot of times people will go together with different families, and you can trade off as adults which adult is actually watching the children and keeping an eye on them.
They really need constant supervision, because just in a second a kid can just dive into that pool.
Absolutely. And we've, unfortunately, national tragedies have happened, local tragedies, and so you just want to be really careful.
More and more. So let's move on to other outdoor activities. What about ATVing, dirt bikes, bicycles, motorcycles? They're all fun, but they can be dangerous.
Right. So of course we can't help but recommend that you wear a helmet, especially for bicycles. If you're going to be on a motorcycle, appropriate protective equipment. Dirt bikes, ATVs, especially on the ATVs, we've seen a number of accidents recently. Just make sure that for the appropriate age, you have the appropriate size and appropriate level of power for the ATV for that individual.
Yes, and what about other dangers this summer and things that are easily preventable?
It's funny to tie into your thing about the gutter cover. We see people getting up on ladders all the time, usually by themselves. The ladder slips and they're falling and breaking ribs. The other thing that happens very commonly is you'll see typically young males, and it usually starts with "watch this."
Oh, no, yep, and then now watch me get in the ambulance to the ER.
Exactly.
So you got to be safe, got to be aware of what you're doing. Don't make too drastic decisions or try to show off. And then, sometimes the unthinkable happens. So how can we empower viewers today, to make a difference and be prepared? You brought in some stuff. Yeah,
so big things are preventative, of course, and just being prepared, as you mentioned. Have a first aid kit in your car, in your home, around where people are going to gather. And that can be one thing that you can at least start treating people before the paramedics show up. Certainly cell phones nowadays, if you have them available, 911, call right away. As far as if somebody's bleeding, the first thing I recommend is simply put pressure on it. There was a patient many years ago that came in from work, had a cut to his artery of his wrist, and nobody thought to put pressure on it. And literally he was spurting blood across the room when he came in. So it's just kind of common sense things that your mother may have taught you when you were a kid. For motorcyclists, wear bright clothing. Wear a vest like this that really can help you see, that other people can see you. Motorcyclists are very good about what they do, but it's the rest of us in cars that don't see them that can lead to tragedy.
Yes, and unfortunately we have to go, but really quick, this tourniquet that people should maybe have in their car, this helps with pressure.
Right,
stopping bleeding.
This came out of the military, out of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it's easily applicable, very easy to learn. There are courses called Stop the Bleed courses that are put on around the Kansas City area. Great idea to have available. And it's, not a bad thing. My family has had personal experience with that. So thanks for all the great advice today. We really appreciate it, and for bringing in these items. Thank you. For more, visit oprmc.com/trauma. We also have a link on kclive.tv later on today.